Steve Show. Step aside and let the big kids play. Raw talk in your ears. Weekdays.
I'm here today. That was so weird yesterday.
Was it?
Like listening to you guys, but not being able to say anything. Not that weird. I usually can when you're talking, but...
It was weird for Ethan, I think.
Yeah, sitting in front of you just staring at me like that. Weird. It's terrifying, actually.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going for.
Good job.
I was going for that. Oh my god. I don't know. I wanted to give you that fear of if you were a black man and the police have just pulled you over. Okay. I was going for that. Hello, Marcus, Big B, and other Leonard. Yeah. I've kind of reached this I think I've reached this crossroads in my opinion of I'm obviously a huge supporter of the black community. More so because I just think black men are fucking awesome. Just gonna go out there, go on record, put that on there. But then I come across, and to me, I also think police officers are awesome. And so when you get a black police officer, it's like, oh my god. It's just like, the man can carry a gun and have Bluetooth and look cool. And drive a Crown Vic. I mean, if you can drive a Crown Vic with
they have Crown Vics anymore, do they?
They do for the purpose of this bit. If you can have a Crown Vic and a Bluetooth and be in a car and look cool, then I think you're on the right road.
Okay.
Right. I was actually going to talk about this a couple of days ago.
When it was kind of more in the news.
When it was more. But, it's the Jane and Steve show. We don't talk about things that are current. We talk about things when it suits us.
Yeah.
And today's going to be an uncomfortable one.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is this going to be worse than, when we talked about it earlier?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
It's,
I'm going to let you start on this one.
Well, okay, so I've just watched the Tulsa video, okay? Mm-hmm. of the guy my brother getting shot by my other brother. And that's the problem I have here. I got my brothers in blue and my brothers in black. And they be fighting.
Wait. Brothers in blue, brothers in black.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not that, obviously, my brothers in black are wearing black. Well, some of them do, but generally they tend to wear white and other nice, coordinated colours that really brings out the blackness in somebody, which I think is awesome. Oh, come on. Black men are amazing. They can wear fucking bright yellow suits and look fucking cool.
Yes.
If a white man wore a yellow suit, he would get beaten up by his mother, who's in a wheelchair with no arms.
Maybe.
The power of Christ would compel her. A lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so basically we've had a lot of, like, shootings.
We've had a couple
weird
shootings. I think there's been 3.
scenarios.
I mean, you know, do we really think all of a sudden the media take, you know, liberties here? Of course they do. And are they reporting some and not others? Of course. They don't report all the times. You know, a brother will get stopped by another brother, and everything goes nice, and they go on their way, because that doesn't make news. And this is one of the problems, you know, with news, because, you know, in the 80s, news changed. It changed from reporting the news to basically sensationalizing the news. Mm-hmm. And that was a bad thing for us. And I blame all the cable news stations, because they're the ones that instigated all this. If you run news 24 hours a day, believe me, you are going to try and make it sensational, because otherwise it sounds like a shipping forecast, which you heard for the first time the other day.
Yes.
Sheffield, 42, 83 and raining. Cardiff Bay, slightly damp, 43. I don't even know what the numbers mean.
Okay.
So,
Because 43 in Fahrenheit would be really cold.
It would be. I know.
43 in Celsius.
It was not just for... I need to say this there. If there are anybody currently, right, in the English Channel, that was not an accurate forecast. Please do not ship according to my records.
Yeah, because a lot of people are listening to this live while in the English
We
Channel.
are listened to all over the world.
Right. I know.
We have people in Australia.
I know that.
We even have Russians, which is cool.
What
I think
is
every
that
house should have a
supposed to
Russian.
mean?
I don't know.
We even
I want to
have
know if you can
Russians?
unscrew a Russian and there's another one inside, and then you can unscrew that one and there's another Russian inside.
I think you're onto something.
I know. We should try it. No, actually
Pull out a
don't,
mic.
because I don't want to tell people to start unscrewing Russians. They get very angry about that. And let's face it, they can all drink us under the table. Let's keep on with the stereotypes today. Back to police officers and black people.
Hello to Ginkgo, who's just
Hey.
joined us. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
the ink is awesome.
Yeah.
It is very
Yeah,
good.
my arm is not happy.
It's on
Oh, and
fire.
There you go.
That's super cool. I really like that one.
There you go.
It's like a fucked up children's book
Yes.
illustration.
Yes, it's burning. Yes,
Yes.
it's not. Yeah, my arm was like seriously swollen
And
last
it
night.
burns like a ring. right.
Panama Zach is here. He said, "Where's my bae, Ethan?"
I'm here.
He's here.
Hi.
Oh, so, all right. So, the Tulsa one
Yes.
actually really pissed me off. I was very much like, what the fuck? You know, the guy had his hands up. I read the reports. I then saw the video just now before the show.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I have a problem with the video.
Okay.
I do not condone the police officer shooting somebody, but
Okay.
I am going to say he was walking back to his car and he was told not to.
Right.
And this comes back to the whole thing, and this is where, you know, it's like I so struggle to, like, sit either side of the fence on this one, because...
People are saying, so what? Where are you going with this? And what is your opinion, by the way?
If a police... I think... Let me give my view on that story, and then I'm going to... No, actually, I'm going to give my view on me. Go on.
Ethan has another follower.
Yeah.
Somebody named Sumac. They want to know if you can get a little catwalk show with you in your Iron Maiden shirt.
Ooh, on the catwalk. Oh, he's going to do it. Should we
Which
just
is
stop the show?
granted.
Let's stop about police brutality and racial profiling.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at this.
Yes.
Look at- Oh,
Oh,
he's got
not
his
yet.
sweatpants
Sorry,
on as well.
not yet. Okay.
God, I hate this show sometimes.
Okay, there we go. Here he comes.
I'm sorry for everybody on speaker and listening to this, but Ethan is actually doing a catwalk show impromptu because he has some, apparently, some of the homosexual followers. I'm still hearing something.
Yeah, your
it's that.
music's playing.
There we go.
Oh, yes. There you go, Zach. Oh, you are getting so much love. Ginkgo said he just threw up in his mouth. He is not one of your, super followers.
I didn't do it for you, Ginkgo.
Somebody's asking, are we talking about the riots or the shooting?
No, I'm talking about the shooting. The riots is no fucking excuse. I don't give a rat's ass what has happened. Rioting's a fucking excuse to go get a free TV.
Somebody's saying the main problem is that the perps aren't following what the cops instructed, and people are like, if they're telling you not to do something, then you fucking listen to them.
This is the problem I have, and I understand the argument back, from my brothers, that they are so sick and tired of being profiled. It is, you do get pulled over as a black guy more. However, you also sometimes don't help yourself either. All right, I'm just going to go out there and say that. Maybe if you kind of, no, I'm not going to go down that route.
Somebody's saying, deal with it now, sue later.
That's the point. The point is that when a police officer stops, that is not your day for justice. That's not your day. Right then, whatever he's stopping you for, even if it's a bullshit stop, I've had I'm white. I'm as white as it can possibly be. I am everything a police officer shouldn't ever stop. But I got pulled in Chicago.
Yeah, just outside Chicago.
And I mean, they had us and the kids get out of the truck. They went through. I mean, they asked, "Can we send a drug sniffer dog into your truck?" I'm like, "I'm from Reading. What can possibly go wrong?"
Now, Panama's ex is he's Italian, and he actually gets pulled over here in the States, and he's like, they just don't like foreigners.
No, and there's a weird underlying current of people in authority that have a problem with anybody that's not white. I have come across this. It's bizarre. There are, and it's not you regular people. It's not you regular listeners. It's not you lot. But people in a position of, I'll go back again. The guy at Six Flags, right? The moment he heard my accent, oh, you lot.
It went really racist.
It went racist.
Yeah,
I'm fucking white. I fucking founded your country, you ignorant motherfucker. So, So I understand where the black men come from. I mean, let's face it. They actually built this country. They really did. They're the ones that did all the shitty
saying,
work.
They're stopping people that are wanted for crimes, not just anyone, and that's not true.
No, it's not.
I've been pulled over. Steve's been pulled over, and neither one of us were doing
police
fuck
do not.
all.
Yeah, police will stop under a suspicion, and if that cop basically doesn't like your attitude as you drive past, like I've waved at police officers when I've gone past them extremely fast in the Audi. And a couple of times they have pulled me. But then, obviously, I have a choice at that point to bring out the American license or the British one. And an advice to everybody, when you pull out the British license, they let you go. Because it's a lot more paperwork. So I'm like...
it's pink.
And it's pink. And we have a laugh about it, about how unmanly it is and, and stuff like that. So I've got out of tons of speeding tickets. Just way too many. It's... the problem I have, and I understand it from from the black community side of things. I understand they're fed up of being pulled.
Now, Zach's saying, the media is the root and cause of all of this.
They're instigators.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to wonder what he was thinking, or what people think when you disobey somebody's orders at gunpoint.
Yeah,
because.
I know.
If I was walking towards a car and was told to stop, and the person who said stop had a gun at me, I'm going to stop.
I know. I wouldn't even ask how fast. I would just be zip. It's like they freeze framed, and I think that's probably
the media and like radio show hosts.
Well, yeah. Oh, definitely. And I think this is the problem. You see, the reason this is all happening is because black men are actually a lot braver than us lot. Because let's face it, as white men... Are you
classifying yourself as white?
Oh, yeah. I have to be white for this thing. Okay. Because let's face it, as white people, we're all chicken shit. Somebody points a gun at us and we all freeze and wet our pants. You point one at a black guy and he's going to go, I can probably take you.
Now, Zach's saying, the media actually, really just... this happens all over the place, all the time, even more than we know. But, the media is only portraying it in the bigger cities as opposed to, smaller ones. Because the bigger cities are going to get a lot more attention.
Sure.
There's,
Look,
big things like that.
We know statistically that... sort of black guys get pulled over more than white guys. All right. So the very fact, what
Ginkgo says, when a gun gets pulled out, it's not time to go Rosa Parks.
No, it isn't. And this is the point. I'm going to just finish my one.
Yeah.
point first. So the fact that more are pulled over, statistically, more are going to get shot. White guys get shot as well. However, there does seem to be a bit of a history of white guys not getting shot as often when you look at it proportionally, and that to me is a problem. But I think police have an impossible job.
Yeah, now somebody says, the cops aren't, like, pulling out their gun to, like, scare you. They're pulling it out because, they have to do that to protect themselves. And I don't know if I totally agree with that one. We have very different viewpoints on
Here's the, it was like, a copper said to me, the reason, police get, kind of trigger happy and it goes wrong is because when you're pulled over, you know what's going on your day. You know what's happened. 9 times out of 10, you know that you're fucking running without tags on, or you're running. You know what you've done wrong already. You know that. When the cop has pulled you over, he doesn't have a clue what your day is going like. And a policeman has 2 ways to go about it. When we were stopped in Chicago, we had 2 police officers there. There was one who was been on the force 20 years, very nice guy. We chatted about Iron Maiden and this, that, and the other. There was the other guy who was a total douchebag. He was nice, but he was a twat.
Yeah.
He kept his sunglasses on all the time. Police officers, take your fucking glasses off. That is the most arrogant fucking thing you can ever do. It wasn't. You just look like a complete high school jock douchebag. That's all you look like.
Kev's asking why were we pulled over there. Shall you start or shall I?
We were driving across country, so we were in a California truck. It was the 350.
It's when we were moving across
and
country.
it was when we were moving across. And they tailed me for about half a mile or so, about a mile or so. They tailed me, and my wheel, because I knew when I pulled into the center lane because I was overtaken, right, and I pulled back in again, my rear wheel crossed the when I was overtaken, actually crossed the yellow line because it was a dually and it was a big thing. So that they pulled back. And he brought another police car up. That was the the 20-year officer called for backup, right, and pulled me over and pulled me over on that. Now that was a shit stop, right? That was a bullshit stop. I'm not black. He didn't know I was English at that point.
The first things he said, he's like, it looked like you were kind of like, swerving in and out.
And I actually said no, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, I overtook. I overtook. Yeah, I didn't like it because I knew we had about $5,000 in the car, and I was like, "Wow, they are not fucking taking this." I was like, "I'm going down to firefight today, boys. Yeah, let's lock and load." And and when he approached the car, I just do what I'm told over here. I'm like hands on the steering wheel. I want him to make sure that I see that. And there was an interesting point because he said, "Oh, license registration." I said, look, it's in the glove box. Are you okay for me to go get that? And he was like, yeah, go get it. He goes, that's just stuff you hear on the media. He says, we don't care. Now, I've had other coppers tell me, no, that actually really makes us feel a bit better when you go, it's in there. Can I get it? Or, how? Because, and I think I can't help but wondering, if I was a 6.5-foot black guy sat in the truck, it's like, hey, I'll reach in there and get my fucking license. It'd be like, no, and I'm going to shoot you just in case you do. You can kind of see.
Well, good, you didn't get shot because you listened.
Yeah, and that's the point. There is the case. I get it. It fucking sucks. When that was a bullshit stop. Yeah. Right? They kept us on the road for nearly an hour. We were 45 minutes.
With the girls.
They had a police dog out. Right? They were going through. They basically offloaded the truck, all because they thought we were smuggling drugs. Right? It was a bull. Now, I could have gone, they said, do you mind if we search the truck? I'm like, no, I'm all right. No, I had every right to go, no. And they couldn't have done anything. And they would have tried this, that, and the other, and they couldn't get anywhere. There was nothing for them to go.
They kept, making up different reasons why they pulled you over. Well, then it was a speeding. Oh, we didn't know if, your light was out. Looked like you were swerving. I mean, they just kept coming up with stuff.
They wanted... And it was... once this was all done... And the douchebag copper was leaving, and the 20-year veteran cop was there, and and I was like, really, I was calling him on his bullshit. I was like, come on. I was like, is that really? He goes, look, here's the thing, and then he opened up to me, and he explained to me. He said one of the big problems they have, right? And they see it a lot. They see California trucks. And he said, and here's what happens. He says the dealers will basically take their family with them because it makes sense, because they look like a family.
Drug dealers, yeah.
And they have packed, and he says, I'll show you where they pack drugs. And he showed me. And he showed me on the truck where they would pack it.
Yeah.
And he said...
it's where the dog found all the residue.
And it's where the dog actually found residue, because the truck was originally California and it was in Redding, so naturally it was full of weed all the time. Not with us. You know, so we kind of had a laugh and a joke about it, and we chatted for a while, and that's why we ended up staying more than an hour there, because I was chatting with him. Because, you know, to me, I was...
Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
and
but
Ozzy.
but to me, I really wanted to find out, you know, what that kind of shit is. And when I've spoken to other officers, they don't fucking know. When they're pulling you over, they don't know if you're on your last fucking wits and ready to blow the next person's head off that comes there. They don't know if you're packed with guns, explosives.
Right.
And nowadays, because all you Americans like fucking guns, they assume there's a fucking gun in the car.
See, but I hate that we're actually at this point where that, you know, that cops are like the way they are. And, you know,
But that's a generalization. Cops
right.
are not like they are. There are a few.
I get that, but here's the thing. Yes, obviously, if you know, I think my problem with it is that yes, I totally agree. If a cop says, you know, put it down, or you're pointing a gun, or stop walking because they have a gun on you, you know, you stop doing it, and let's let's chill out on the whole situation thing. But what I hate is that it's actually at that point. That as a society, we've gotten to that point that that's the norm. You know, we should have those scenarios that happen. That shouldn't happen. That should happen just rarely. I mean, that should be something they should be trained about, but it doesn't happen.
There's always going to be bad cops who make bad decisions, and there's always going to be idiots who don't listen or try to fight back or something.
Yep.
How many times have we come across a moron when we go to some place, you know, a restaurant or something? You know, it's you find assholes in all walks of life.
Oh, we've got a cop in here. He said,
"Oh, cool."
I was a cop, and I would love to call in and explain, but we don't have that.
I would love to. Oh, Jesus! Hang on. How can I do that? Yeah, actually, oh God, how am I going to do this? Hang on. I would like to, because here's the first thing, right? I'm totally on the side of cops on this one. I think you guys have an impossible task going on, and I think you've got a couple of bad apples that we all have in our businesses,
Absolutely.
and it fucks up. If you can't type it on there. Okay, if you want to call in, I'm going to give you my cell number, and I'm going to try and figure out how to do. My fucking phone is fucking dead again. Oh my God! Police officers, if you have a Motorola phone, throw it out the car right now. That will never ever be by your side. God damn it. Damn it, I want this. I actually want this call.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you
how
call
much
it?
effort he's putting in to get a call from a police officer and not Miguel.
Well, no, it's because when Miguel there's got to be banter back and forwards, but this isn't really banter. Okay. Tell him to hang on. Oh, he can hear me. Hang on.
He can hear you. He's right there.
I'm not good with the intelligence all the time.
Magna maybe said maybe you could switch to an actual phone like an Apple or an Android.
I am getting an Android. I'm getting a new phone. I'm just not keeping this
Kev
one.
says he has family in Chicago that are police, and it's a struggle for them every day. And the guy said, this is actually really difficult. And he goes, you know, this is, you know, just a bad area. And we've had other people, other Chicago PD that come on the show that have actually said the same thing. They said it's just a difficult area.
It is. But it's like at some point, right, I remember as a kid growing up, and all the coppers knew me. Not because I was in trouble. They would get to know the community. And I think the problem with coppers just riding around in cars, I know, but coppers just riding around in cars, you never get to know people.
Oh, it's just so big. Communities are really big now.
Hold on, Copper. I'm trying to get this phone restarted because I want you to call in.
Chicago are going to start to know everybody in Chicago. It's just not going to happen.
No, but you're given an area, and I think you should go out of your way. The problem is that they get attitude when they do try and do that as well. So it's this kind of.
I don't know.
God damn it! One time.
Ginkgo says he got harassed all the time by cops when he was a skater.
Yeah, I don't know why police hate They hate BMXers as well over here. In England, they love them.
Mike said, the cop guy, Mike, he said, yeah, the areas are just too large to do that anymore.
Is it? Is that the thing? Yeah. So.
Okay, so over 3,000 shootings here so far. What, this year?
Yeah. In Chicago, yeah, they're like, it's fucked up there, isn't it?
That's insane. That is really insane.
But aren't most of those shootings between, like gangs and shit like that?
Yeah, 3,000 this year.
Hold on, I'm almost there.
Marcus said you should get an Apple phone. His battery's at 91%.
Oh, Motorola are terrible. Motorola.
Well, yeah, it's going to be at 91% if you charge it, but he doesn't remember to charge his phone. So even if he had an Apple, it wouldn't help him.
Called out. Wow.
I'm gonna tweet Motorola today and go, just delete your phones. Yeah. That's what they actually need to do. Right. Wait for this to start off. Okay. My number is 207. I swear to God, any other of you fuckers call in, and I swear to God, I'm gonna.
Well, we're gonna know really quick. What's your number? Because I don't know. I don't know what your number is.
207. 449.
Oh yeah, that one. I know that one.
And I gotta try and make it. I'm gonna do this.
Okay, there you go.
And I'm gonna do this.
That's a 2.
So, sorry.
That's not 207-449-1964.
I think I can do it that way.
And Mike, call in. We can talk to a cop right now. Miguel's gonna be so pissed if he comes on the show now.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, don't tell Miguel anybody. No, my phone's always dead, so it's like, it's just one of those annoying things. Let me figure this out. Oh God, oh shit, I plugged it into my computer and now it's having a hissy fit. There we go. All right. So yeah, I'm interested with the. See, my point is you just for fuck's sake.
I said we could text Mellow quotes for the day.
Yeah, you could. I've always given my number out. I don't care. I just don't want any other fucker calling in at this point.
It's. I don't know. Marcus says the term cop offensive. I don't think so.
Coppers. That's what we call them in Britain.
I don't
Bobbies.
think there's
Bobbies, coppers.
Different.
I don't actually know what cop stands for.
I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know where Mike went either because he's
probably calling.
Maybe. Do you have your sound on and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing it.
Like you legitimately know how to check
Maybe.
on it.
Constable on
12
patrol.
Oh shit! Somebody.
Constable on patrol. I like that. Oh, Ginkgo says crappy, oblivious person.
Hang on.
I don't think that's it. Now he's on the phone, so I'm not going to say that.
I know. I'm trying to just get this. Hey, Mike.
That's me.
Hey, cool.
Hello,
Thank
Mike.
you very much for calling in. So hopefully, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you fine.
All right, then I think I've got your volume up, so that's good. All right. So, okay. So first things I want to find out: do you find the word cop offensive?
No.
Okay. All right. So Marcus, one of our listeners, long time, he's practically part of the show. Marcus. I was always curious about that. In Britain, we call you guys coppers or bobbies or whatever.
Well, everybody has really bad things for it. It's like Big B said, cop can't operate peacefully, and we have just people just come up with their own.
Don't listen to them, Mike. You're in a safe space now.
That's okay. I don't mind.
He listens to our show all the time.
I'm used to everything.
That's awesome. Okay, so you've been on the force 20 years. You're still active?
No, I am happily retired.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, all right. So, I don't know. What is your opinion on this? Because, I'm not asking you to really comment on a specific case, but I mean, 20 years on the force. What was the problem that you had when you were stopping people? What? Explain to us the other side.
More times than not, we receive a call from 911 that somebody is doing something.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who you are. We don't know if you've done that. You could be innocent. You could be guilty. So unfortunately, we have to treat everybody as if they were guilty, and then find out they're innocent.
Right.
And if people would just follow the orders that we gave them, I don't think. I know some people are upset when we do, but I don't think any of this would be happening.
I've got to agree with you on that, because that is my problem of whenever the recent Oklahoma one, I had read the report and I was like, man, he had his hands up, he was shot, what the hell is going on here? And then I watched the video and I'm like, he was given an order from what you can see, and he's just walking back to the car, and I'm like, no, come on. If to me it's like, and I think Ethan said earlier, if a cop's pointing a gun at you and says jump up and down on 1 foot, you're going to jump up and down on 1 foot. But there is this.
If I'm pulling my gun out, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not pulling it out for kicks. I'm not pulling it out to scare you. I'm scared. I'm scared for my life.
Wow. Okay.
And
so do you think that is like a typical thing for like, you know, all the stuff that we're starting to see on the media? Do you think that's typically the reason they're doing it? Just from your experience?
Well, I'm having a tough time hearing her.
Oh, she said, with what you're seeing in the media and you know, the stories that have come out recently, do you think that the officers involved there, you know, pulled their gun out because they were in fear of their life, or do you think that that's been the majority?
I mean, I can only speak for New York City, but I mean, I hope they were. I mean, I know I did, and I hope everybody. You're not just pulling it out. You're not pulling it out to scare somebody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because when somebody goes, "Go ahead, shoot me," well, what else are you going to do?
Right.
You know, you just can't shoot them for no reason. You know, you just went to the max, and you got nothing else to go to.
See, not only is he's my brother in blue here, he's a New York cop. That's like fucking
Pretty
like
cool.
so high
That's
at that
like
point.
God.
It is. Yeah, that's kind of that is God tier.
Thank you.
It's okay. So were you 20 years on the force in New York? Is that was your beat?
I 20 years in Manhattan. Well, yeah, almost 20 years in Manhattan. I did my last 10 years as a sergeant in Manhattan.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So do you mind me asking how long ago you retired?
6 years ago.
6. Oh wow. So you were active during the 9/11.
Yes, I was.
Well, thank you for everything you did that day, because that was a fucked up day for.
Yes, everybody on Periscope is saying thank you for your service.
There you go.
First responder.
Yeah.
That was the most scared I ever was. Most of the other times, you know, you get a little scared, but that was the most.
Wow.
I bet, and I don't know. I find the whole, you know, I understand that the media is highlighting bad situations as a common denominator. I just, you know, in your experience, I mean, you know, did you find you obviously came across people with attitudes all the time, but I mean, you know, and I'm not trying to back you into a corner here, but I mean, you know, were there ever? I don't want to ask you if you ever profiled anybody. I'm not asking you that. But like, you've got to make assumptions before you get to a vehicle of what situation you're potentially getting yourself into.
Yes. Well, you would do that. You mostly do it by the numbers. That's how I would do it. If there was more people in the vehicle than I had in my vehicle,
mm-hmm.
you know, then I'd be a little more nervous than not.
Right.
Well, like it's if there's 4 people in the car, there's only 2 of us coming up on it. I'm a little nervous. So if I can't see in the car, that used to get me nervous also.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
I mean, and we give.
No, carry on.
We give you simple orders.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your hands. You know, put your hands up.
Mm-hmm.
Just follow them. It's you know, the people who didn't follow my orders are those people I was most nervous about.
Right, and you see, and this is the one thing I can't seem to get my head around. Is like, you know, there's this idea that, you know, when a police officer stops you, that's your personal day for justice, and it's not. To me, it's like, you know, it was a bullshit stop. I mean, even the cop admitted it at the end. Well, he didn't really admit it, but he was he was very open and said, you basically fit the profile for somebody transporting drugs.
Yeah, I mean, some police departments do have profiles. Mm-hmm. You know, in New York City, in the city, if we were stopping you, I mean, you were fitting the description of something, mm-hmm. of some sort of call in progress, or by statistics of, you know, what was going on in that area. Now,
one of our listeners, she is asking, well, whatever happened to stun guns? I mean, you know, now it's like, you know, they just shoot or they have their gun. What happened to the use of stun guns?
I got some of them. I didn't hear all of that.
Okay. It was asked, what happened to the use of stun guns being used instead of guns?
Not only sergeants in a book carry, at least 6 years ago, mm-hmm. carried tasers. And you have to be within 20, and you have to be within 21 feet to be active, because there's only 21 feet of like electrical cord that comes out.
Yeah, I don't have any time for the tasers, because they've both got to make contact with you as well, haven't they, to actually work?
Yes. I mean, when they work, they're phenomenal tools. But,
right.
You know, if you have a gun, I'm not pulling out a taser.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Good point.
So, you can not answer this if you want. Have you ever had a gun pulled on you?
Oh, when I first was a brand new police officer,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't pulled on me, but I stepped onto the train to go home,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody on the train pointed at one person, which is never good. And when I walked up on him, thank God he was sleeping. He had a gun sticking out of his pants, but also he was a licensed concealed carry gun owner. So I don't know why he had his gun sticking out of his pants, scaring the heck out of everybody and me,
Right.
who almost shot him.
Right.
Wow.
So what is your? This is interesting because I spoke to he was a sergeant down in Texas, and because I asked him about the sort of the open carry permit, and he was totally against it. And for a Texan to say that quite surprised me. So what is your feeling on things like that?
If you have, if I would love to see. If you want to carry a gun, I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's got to be some sort of testing. There's got to be some sort of practical exam. There's got to be some sort of psychological testing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Truthfully, I don't think you need assault rifles. But if you wanted to carry a handgun to protect you and your family, because the police aren't going to get there in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's It's weird. I mean, I grew up in a culture that had zero guns. I mean, the only people that had guns would be high-end criminals, and in Britain, you just don't encounter those unless you move in those circles. So for me, coming over to America and here, it was a social shock of how prevalent it was. And it's very, and for me being British, it was very easy for me to go, well, there's your problem. Everybody's got guns, so everybody's on edge all the time. If we didn't all have guns, surely there would be. In Britain, it's like when I was in Britain, I got attacked badly. If the people had access to guns, I wouldn't be here. But as it turned out, they only had access to a cricket bat, so I have a permanent mark on my head. But that's. Do you see where I'm coming from with that?
Yeah, but what happens? Say the police walked up on you being attacked by a cricket bat. What would the police use?
Oh no, I'm actually for police carrying guns, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, no, because I've got friends who are cops in England, and they've been on the receiving end, and all they've got is basically a baton.
Yeah.
And when somebody, when you've got 2 or 3 people beating on you, that's not of any use. So no, I'm totally for that.
Because with all the gun laws they make in the United States, bad people are still going to get guns.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Definitely.
But that was the same in Britain as well. It's like bad people would get access to guns, but it's weird because in Britain, I don't know how to explain this. Unless you moved in those circles, you never encountered those people. But over here, I have noticed, even if you don't move in those circles, did we lose him? We lost him, didn't we?
Now, Unicorn Fret says there's a geographic aspect to this. I should more of depending on where you are around the different borders and stuff. Depends on whether you're going to have guns or not.
Ah, cool. What a cool ringtone, right? Everybody enjoy that? Sorry, Mike, you still there?
I'm still here, though I lost you for a second.
Yeah, you disconnected. So what was the question one of the listeners were asking? Was it?
She's saying UK is an island and has a little easier to control guns. You're not having to deal with
Well, no, they're illegal there. That's why it's easier to control them.
Right. What she's saying is that it's a different scenario.
It's very easy to get guns into Britain.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, now we're not part of the EU, so it'll be harder. But when it was open EU, you've got to be doing something really stupid to get stopped at border crossings in England.
And now, this is a little bit to an extra question, but we've had a couple people ask, why do you guys shoot dogs? Why not taser dogs? We have a lot of animal lovers here.
There you go, Mike. Do you want to take that one? Why you don't tase dogs and why you would shoot them?
I have 2 dogs of my own. I love my dogs, but I'm not sure. A taser would work, but like I said before, only supervisors have tasers.
Yeah.
If the rules to shoot animals are a lot less than the rules you need to shoot a person.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's like we've got a Doberman Rottweiler who's as dumb as shit, but she's a great dog and she's soft. She's soft as hell. She really is. But when people come to our house, I mean, she's a guard dog and she's nasty, but I don't let her outside, and especially if there was, and I don't, again, I don't know. I'm not trying to agree with Mike here on everything, but I mean, to me, it's like if the cops are pulling you over and your dog is not on a leash at that point. I think if the officer feels like he's threatened, he should have a right actually to, that owner either needs to get that dog under control or the dog needs to be shot, because dogs don't get reasoned with.
No, you can't tell a dog to let me see your paws.
No, yeah, that's right. That's right. But if you could, that would be a great YouTube clip.
Yeah, I would. I'd be famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody says you have a man crush on this cop.
I do. Oh, I know. It's just, look, okay, right,
Called
fine.
It like they saw it. Okay.
Fine. Then I'll be horrible to Mike, and let's do it this way then. If that's what, God, I tell you what, it's just because
It's true.
it's not true.
Unicorn Farts thinks it might be his accent that might be getting.
No, he's a New York cop. It's like
right.
talking
He's
to
got
God.
a New York accent.
It really is. I mean,
No, listen, I'm not. It was a great job, but I'm not a god.
I don't know. Most of our listeners, I think, actually think that. So they're all just
well,
like,
actually,
wow.
Marcus actually said New York officers are like America's police officers. So there you go.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're gonna try. If you, like I would work in Times Square, and you'd be taking pictures. You were like somebody famous taking pictures with tourists, saying hello, telling them. It was great. I loved it.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I actually do wish people would kind of go out of their way more to kind of communicate with officers. I think when I see the problem I have with like you guys over here is you're always in cop cars. Now it might be different in New York, but like obviously out here, like even in our small towns, they ride around in cars rather than. As a child, when I was growing up, there would always be bobbies on the beat, and so they would stop and talk to you. I know, So
is everybody in England gay?
Maybe
Bobby's on the beat.
Yeah, Bobby's on the beat. All right, just leave me alone. I'm reliving my childhood. And coppers, yeah.
I mean, I can only speak for New York, but if you walked up to a New York City cop, they would definitely talk to you.
See, that's cool. See, I see Dallas police were kind of funny because, well, they weren't funny. They had no sense of humor. Not the ones that I encountered. They were, I don't know. I mean, the easiest way to describe it, and I've said this on this show, Mike, so I'm just going to say it to you so everybody thinks I'm not having a man crush on you.
It's too late.
It's often like, oh, somebody was bullied at school, they become a police officer and get that. Because the attitude that we do get back from, it's not all police officers, but there is a majority of the ones that we encounter feel like their attitude coming over to us is like they're fucking God, and, well, not literally, obviously, I meant like, figuratively. They're like some kind of God, and they're so much better than you, and it comes over that way.
It's a power trip. They get a little bit of a power trip when even I had it when you first start. You have a little bit of, I got power.
Mm-hmm. So it's
tough for a 20-year-old kid to do that
because of the power he suddenly has.
Interesting. And see, but I don't know. We have one of our listeners. She's saying, what she thinks should happen. This is Unicorn Fart. Okay. She thinks that when cops become cops, they should be assigned to a community to get to know them, to work with them, and know the people, know the scenario. Just get to know the community, kind of like what you were saying.
Okay, did you hear that, Mike?
No, I heard.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, she was one of the listeners, which we've affectionately called Unicorn Farts.
He's a regular listener.
Oh, he's regular, is he? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I never see Periscope, so I just sit this side of it in a void. And she was suggesting, that cops really should be assigned a community when they do, and part of their policing should be to get to know the community.
That would probably, that's a great idea.
So,
but it's tough, when sometimes you're answering 30 to 40 calls an 8-hour shift. I mean, you're going from 911 call to 911 call. It's tough to get out of the car.
See now, yeah, because you've been a cop since I've been over here. Something I have noticed in the last 10 years is loads more cops. It used to be you would see. I mean, we actually noticed in Dallas, every street you would see a cop on. You couldn't go down a street without seeing a cop, and that has definitely been something that I've seen. Now, you're saying you were responding to a lot of calls, but it seems like the amount of... Sorry, go on.
At least in New York, at Dallas, I'm not sure how how many runs they handled, how many radio runs they handle a day or what. But
it's like it's like there's more police officers now. I see a greater police presence now, especially having a fast Audi. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to exercise my illegal right to drive it just fractionally above the speed limit. But I've noticed that, and that's a big change since I've been over here. What, 12 years? 12 years? Yeah, 12 years. And that's something I've noticed is definitely an increase now. But I hear all the time, it's like I'm hearing, "Oh, we need more police officers," and I'm like, you kind of seem to be getting them, do you not?
I mean, in New York City, I want to say there's around 35,000 police officers.
Holy crap!
But not all. That's covered between 3 shifts. The whole 71 precincts. So
that's insane.
See,
we have another question.
Okay,
it's actually quite interesting. Since he's been out of it for 6 years, right? One of our listeners is asking, what is your take on the whole Black Lives Matter movement? Do you think it's more of a movement that is, proactive, or is it more of turning into a hate group?
I don't. I think it might be a hate group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are just curious.
That's not the popular opinion, but I don't.
I don't know. I have a lot of brother friends. That's all I'm going to say. And they all. I've heard exactly the same from that.
Yeah, we got a lot of people saying they're kind of more of a racist group.
But it shouldn't be. It so shouldn't be, because I'm totally. There needs to be something needs to happen, and I don't know why we keep seeing the fact that if you're black you're more likely to be stopped. I guess we can ask Mike. He's retired now, but I mean, is there any reason that you could think of why that would happen? That if you're black you're more likely to be stopped? Because we have a lot of black listeners, and they're all like, "Yeah, I get stopped a lot."
Well, I mean, a lot of times it's done by crime statistics. That,
right.
It's like when you fill out when you give the police report, you tell them who committed the crime.
Mm-hmm.
A male white, male black, male Asian,
right?
5'10", 200 pounds.
Oh, you never pull over Asians. Come on. They're all in Honda Civics and you can't catch them. God, I've seen Honda Civic drivers. There's no way you could catch an Asian in one of those.
But you're gonna stop people, at least maybe not in cars, but on the street.
Right.
That would match that description within a few minutes of that crime happening. In New York, when you stopped people before I retired, when you stopped people, you get on your portable radio and have the radio dispatcher read over the description that they told you to the person you were stopping. It's like, listen, it's not me. Somebody who looks like you just committed this crime. I'm not making this up.
Right. I see. Yeah.
It helped a little bit, but
yeah, I guess I guess if somebody says it's a 6'5" black man, what are you going to do? You're going to stop. I guess if you've got any clothing, if you have limited clothing description, what are you going to do? But the argument flips around then to go, well, if it said a 6'5" white male, you're going to stop every 6'5" white male.
It's kind of like it's trying to pull a needle out of a haystack. Sometimes trying to catch the criminals. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
If the people have common sense and the police officers have common sense, it should be a seamless interaction.
Mm.
The police you have to know how to talk to people. That's the simplest thing.
See, and I think, your comment earlier about, you get a 20-year-old with that kind of power and it kind of goes to his head a bit. That is probably, I don't know, but my encounters with cops has been that of pretty much the younger they are, the more of a douchebag they are, and they come at me with an attitude, and Man, I'll laugh at anything, and that doesn't help.
Now, something we were talking about before the show, Ginkgo's kind of brought up, and he was saying, fashion is equaling a stereotype. People dressing like gangster rap listeners, they're more likely to get pulled because they look like they may be, doing something.
Right.
I mean, is that something that you encountered as well?
I never stopped anyway. If I stopped somebody they were dressed the way that a description gave it over, I could really care less what you were. I mean, I'm just talking for me. I really could care less what you were wearing.
But
you were really strong on that opinion earlier.
As the old saying goes, the older you get, the smarter you get. So, a cop that's 40 is a lot more street savvy and smarter than probably a cop that's 20 or 21.
It's difficult because it's like if you raise the how hard is it to become a cop nowadays? Is it, because I've heard it's pretty easy.
I mean, I can only in 1987.
The good years.
It was a 100-question written test, a background test, a psychological exam, and then you had to go to the police academy for 6 months.
Oh, it was 6 months. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I wasn't even I worked in the subway when I first left the police academy. I spent 5 years in the subway.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dear me. And yeah. I'm not going to say that.
I mean, people just have to understand that police officers are just like they are. Their husbands, their wives, they got kids, they have a mortgage, they have bills. Some days they're happy, some days they're pissed off.
Yeah, yeah, and
they're just like everybody else.
It is difficult. I also don't think you guys get paid enough. I was horrifically shocked.
Your lips to God's ears.
It amazes me, but I think the same about firefighters and people. I think all of you guys that are, it's like I have my own views on armed forces and so forth, but I think when it comes down to defending and being there for the citizens, I think you guys, you go up to a traffic stop, you don't know what's going to happen, and to me, it's like the wives of officers or the husbands of officers, that every time they say goodbye in the morning, they don't know. I
mean, I used to ask my wife, does she worry? And I don't, she would never tell me. I don't know if she did. She's pretty strong. She lives with me, so she's got to be. But
that's got to be difficult. So what would be your piece of advice? And I know what you're going to say, but what would be your piece of advice for if people are getting pulled over and they think it's a bullshit stop? How should they deal with that?
Just, you know what? He's a police officer. He's not the judge and the jury. Mm-hmm. He's a regular human being. Just do what he says. Mm-hmm. And everything. If you're unhappy with it, there's got to be some sort of. Every police department has a way to state your grievance.
Right.
At a later date. I would use that.
Yeah, that's it.
Right then and there is not the time. Right then and there is not the time to become a political activist when you're held at gunpoint.
So Ginkgo's like, you get to live to tell about it.
Yeah, that's the point. I have one last question before I let you go, Mike.
Sure.
What is your opinion of the sort of, what are they called, the cop watchers, the ones that just run around with video cameras all the time, filming you guys? What is your?
If they want, thank God I didn't have to really deal much. 6 years ago, cell phone cameras weren't that great.
Right.
Now they're really good, so I really never had to deal with them. Mm-hmm. If they stay back and don't, listen, I don't want you close to me,
right? Because
I carry lots of things, like that could hurt me if you get them away from me.
Right.
You want to stay away, and don't ask silly questions. Listen, I knew the penal law pretty good. I couldn't recite the numbers with the penal law.
Right.
You're not going to run up and I don't go to where you work and bother you.
That's a good one. I like that.
That would be a good way to turn it around on cop. I see. And what about body cameras for police officers and so forth? Are you for them or against them?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I think that's great. the guys that go around, especially the sovereignty lot, that go around and you're not allowed to start, and they'll recite, like you said, laws and this, that, and the other, and try and argue it out with you. I don't know. I don't have any time for those people.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, I love watching them on the computer. Those the free roaming Americans.
Yeah.
I'm not that's great. Okay. This is welcome to America.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that you can go and, I guess, be a dick, but,
No, Zach's saying, he's scared that cops are going to get to a point where they're going to be scared to do their job because of what possibly can happen. I mean, I guess that's reality, isn't it?
Well, I mean, people have to understand, if they want to be a dick, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's terrible to say this, I can be a bigger dick.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Well, you're armed, so yeah.
Well, no, I'm not even saying that. I mean, the greatest thing I used to use I used to tell my cops, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Mm-hmm.
I go, because the arrest paperwork, you need a pen to fill out.
All right.
So
yeah.
Don't get a.
Go on, Mike.
No, I tell you. I mean, listen. You can break my chops, do what you want, but I know the law. You don't.
I love the way you guys say law. It's so awesome. Sorry. Okay, Mike. Listen, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it. And
I watch it. I watch every day on Periscope.
Yes,
you do. That's super cool.
Yeah, Steve doesn't have any clue.
No,
I
don't
when I
know.
say, and Mike said that's Mike.
That's Mike.
Yes, this is Mike.
Right, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I thought you meant Mike from the speaker chat room crosses over into Periscope.
Nope. No.
Okay.
Well, sometimes he does, but this is is Mike.
Okay. All right. I got it. Sorry. Go on.
And I love Maine. I love coming up there.
Yeah, you can have it. I can't stand the place.
Maine has the best microbreweries around.
Ah, drinker. Okay, maybe me and you actually should meet up. Maybe you can help me stay out of trouble for a night.
Tell me when to meet you at the Great Lost Bear. I'll meet you there.
All right. You're on for that, Mike. Thank you very much. And if we're ever talking about
You're
police
welcome.
stuff around again, and we need your input, I would love you to give your input again on that.
Yeah, you can save my number. Give me a call.
All right. That's brilliant, Mike. Thank you very much for your service as well.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have
All right.
a great
Thanks,
day.
Mike.
Cheers, Mike.
Have a
Bye.
good one.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody's
Man
like,
crush
oh.
activated.
That's what everybody's
Oh,
saying.
fuck off, you lot. You see this? I can't be nice.
Romance.
I can't be nice to somebody without
Zach's
somebody
feeling,
saying it.
he's just like, no. Mine and Ethan's bromance is way stronger than yours and Mike's.
I know a New York cop. Do you know how fucking cool that
I love
is?
his accent.
Yeah. That's cool.
I could tell he was definitely from somewhere in the Northeast.
Yeah. Everybody was like, Boston and New York. Is he Boston and New York?
Oh, okay.
And he said New York and
New
everyone
York.
went,
Yeah, it's just
"Oh."
like, yeah. So, yeah. That was cool. I appreciated Mike coming on because whether you think I wasn't asking hard questions or not, I was a little bit in awe of him initially. But once I speak to him a few more times,
know.
don't worry. I'm going to ask him. He laughed when I said you can never pull over an Asian in a Civic.
I know Ant was also like, you also can't get Latinos that do podcasts. You can't get them either.
I know. Oh, dear.
Quite pleased with yourself now,
I
aren't
am.
you?
I am. I'm jolly happy.
You have
I'm
like a
jolly
new
happy.
best friend.
I do. I'm actually. I do believe that my bipolar meter will change shortly.
Oh, wow.
So that's not a bipolar meter. That's a terror threat level meter.
Ginkgo says it's really cute to hear Steve crushing.
Shut up.
You're never going to hear the
I
end
just-
of this. You know
It's like
that, right?
periscope hearts coming out of his brain.
You know what? It's like you guys don't give. Fuck off. You guys don't give me a hard time when I'm like macking on my brothers, do you? I'm not like going all like creamy for the black men.
No, but this was actually pretty cute.
Shut
I mean,
up.
there was something. There was
That's cute.
chemistry.
He's a New York cop. From a British perspective, that is a world policeman. It's not even
Yeah,
America,
he's
Marcus.
like-
It's like the New York cop is like the most iconic police person.
They almost
ever.
made a date.
Shut up, or I will tell
Get
him.
me out of trouble for one night. Ooh, it's gonna
Mike,
tuck you in.
Mike, if you have any connections to the main police force, I'm going to give you Ethan's details and just pull that fucker over as much as you can. Yeah, I'll let the long arm of the law touch you.
Look, it's
Ginkgo's
that
like,
car can
calm
outrun
down,
it.
Steve.
Yeah,
Calm
it can.
I
What?
know.
Ginkgo's just like, calm down.
Shut up.
If you have nothing to hide, I don't know
God
why you're
damn it.
trying to like cover it up.
God, I fucking hate you lot sometimes.
Zach, what's your number?
Jesus. No.
No. He wants Ethan to have his details.
Oh, sure, yeah. Zach, just text me your number. Mine's 207-449-1964, and I'll give you Ethan's number. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's mine. Text me. I'll give you Ethan's. I don't care. Get a bromance going here.
It's already one-sided.
Or you can find me on Grindr, I think. Is it still
yes,
active?
you can. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're on Grindr.
You guys are like horrible.
I know. We're whores.
1-800-LOVE-ETHAN.
Yeah, that's right.
Can I get that?
Only we could take a
Yes,
show
you can get a 1-800 number.
Oh yeah, but I
about
can't get love.
people
Ethan.
being killed by
ETN.
police
I could.
That's how he spelled it.
and turn it into a show that's funny. That's very sad for us.
Yes.
It's really hard to, but it's hard to argue the point of if you just do as you're fucking told when you pulled over, this won't happen.
Right.
And I really did think that Oklahoma was a good example of that going wrong. And it isn't. They're fucking telling him to stop. And he walks back. I don't care how cheesed off you are with the police or anything. Just, that's not your fucking day. And you heard that from a cop, a New York cop. That's like fucking written in the Bible now. Thous is not your day to thous justice. Thous the istif. Wait till thy court appearance.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
Somebody was asking, just as a side note, as the show's over, are you ever going to do your conspiracy show?
I'm sorry. This is really difficult because she's getting her ink done and I go and pick her up and,
Well, we went out to dinner.
Oh, yeah, he never
we
did
went
it.
out to dinner. I know, I forgot.
Plain flat out,
So I
he
do it
forgot.
tonight?
And
I
he
should
remembered
not have given you that Slim Jim
this
until you did the
morning.
show.
I just,
He hasn't even eaten it yet. It was on your desk.
did you take it back?
back?
Oh, there you go. I don't want it. I don't
Yes,
want
he
it.
told me today he's done with them.
I'm done with them. That's it. I'm done. But I love your nuts.
It's monster size.
Ethan makes the best nuts.
Calm yourself, Zach. Calm yourself.
These are the
Delicious.
pecan cinnamon
Uh-huh.
sugar ones that are amazing.
Or as I like to say, pecan nuts with infused diabetes.
Oh my god, they're so good.
They are really good.
Yes, they're
It's
so
not
good.
generally
Oh, Mike's on
infused
Periscope
diabetes,
now.
but when you
Yay.
eat a pound in a day,
Mike, thank
Yeah.
you for... and I'm glad you missed all the horrible mick taking I just had to endure. Oh, god damn it. See?
fuck.
Restricted? Yeah, I ain't taking that.
He says anytime.
Zach, if that's
Yes.
you calling on a restricted number, how the fuck do you think I'm going to let you know the number? So not taking it. Restricted? Who the fuck does that?
I don't know.
I bet you that's Miguel. He's probably
He's probably pissed
I
because
know,
you
he's
didn't
probably
take
pissed.
his call. Him and
well,
John.
he's not a New York cop, is he?
This
I mean,
is pretty
cool.
Marcus
Go on.
says best show ever, possibly.
No, he put a question mark up.
I know. Oh, did you say that or something?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
It wasn't Zach. He's on his phone.
I don't.
this.
I don't know what the solution is, but with sort of this this kind of racist issue with police, to me it's like if the cop's telling you to do something, even if it's bullshit, just fucking do it. Mike made a good point. Mm-hmm. Cops have fucking bad days as well. He might. I'm not saying Mike personally, but I mean, so the cop might have. I don't know. He might have had premature ejaculation that morning.
Yeah, that would probably piss him
the
off.
kids could have interrupted halfway through having a quickie with the wife, and he's just kind of a bit stressed. So unless you're going to get on your hands and knees and blow the officer there and then, you need to just fucking do what he does. Actually, don't do that. Just do what he says. That's probably...
Ginko says more black cops need to shoot other people instead, balance it out.
Well, the interesting part I see, and there's a lot of black officers, which, I don't think it's an important thing, but I think it's important to answer the question of well, cops are just racist. Well, during the St. Louis riots, I mean, there were black police officers there that were having to keep the crowds back. This bullshit of rioting as soon as somebody gets shot. I mean, Jesus Christ, the guy that got shot in North Carolina, I was looking now, he had a gun. Mm-hmm. In your mind, right? The cops are surrounding you, and you get out your car holding a gun. He didn't point it at the officers, apparently, but he was holding a gun. What what do you think is going to happen? It's, you know, I mean, it's, I just,
You're right there.
yeah.
In that situation, to shoot first, or you'd.
I'm not
gonna
answering
die.
it. I don't care who that is. Just, no.
Zach said Mike spoke a lot of truth, and his insight was awesome.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good. I wish I had the ability to have somebody who has a problem with police officers and have Mike on at the same time and allow me to moderate it.
Yeah, they said Mike said a lot of common sense, plain and simple truth.
It is. It's just, you know, like I said, the Chicago stop, which was a bullshit stop for us, and they clearly profiled. Well, he basically admitted he profiled us. I could have refused. I could have refused to get out of the car and started giving them attitude, but why? What's the point? I had kids in the car with me. I don't want to show my kids like this big, you know, sort of confrontation between me and another copper. And just, you know, yours wasn't really a bullshit stop in California.
It was pretty much.
You didn't have the lights on because we just picked up the chick who was drunk.
Right.
There's a whole story to that. We're picking up drunk chicks in Reading and driving without our lights on. Perfectly natural. But I mean, you know, he was putting you through your paces, drug testing you, and wanted to, you know, and he profiled you. You had pink hair, you had tattoos. Yeah. You must be a druggie. Yeah. And so he profiled you. And you did start to lose it. What
pissed me off is that he kept asking me over and over and over, you know, well, what prescription drugs are you on? I don't take any. Well, what drugs do you take?
I got kids, motherfucker!
Oh, I mean, that's what pissed me off. He asked me that 4 times.
Right.
Well, you take something. What do you take?
It's Redding.
I fucking don't. And that's what pissed me off. Because if they want my respect, then they need to respect my answer.
Yeah, but people lie to them all the time.
I did not, I was not drunk. I did not even have a drink that night. I did not smell of smoke. I did not smell of pot. I did not smell like somebody from Reading, okay? I did not look like somebody from Reading. I did not smell like
Would
somebody
you like a larger brush to tar everybody with? There's a larger brush here.
You have one.
Okay, yeah.
But
here's a roller.
I mean, he was standing very close to me. He knew I was not like that. And he kept asking me that. Don't ask me that. Yes, 4 times is excessive. And that really pissed me off. And that's why I lost it and I started yelling at him. But he got my point, and yeah.
But
I left. So, you know, I didn't get arrested.
Nobody got shot that day.
No.
But luck was on your side. You were a white woman. There was a blonde chick in the car. And there was me in the back drunk.
Very drunk British guy.
And a very drunk British guy. So technically...
And the blonde chick, I didn't even know her name. So
No.
Where she lived.
Yeah, no.
Not at that point.
No.
So, yeah.
But we know where she's buried. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
That would have been a good one to go out on. Well, no, you can't do it now. It's too late.
Hang on. Done.
Damn it! That would have been a good one, actually. That was the one to pull out with, wasn't it? Shit. Oh, fuck.
Zach wants to know, Ethan, will you go to prom with him?
Yes.
See, the twinks are attracted to you as well, then.
Who
Prom?
said he's a twink?
Well, he's... prom, he's got to be, what, 17, 18, 19-year-old?
A twink has nothing to do with age.
No.
Does it not?
No.
Shit, okay, I've been fucking people underage then.
Wait,
What? Wait.
That would have been something to go out on.
It didn't work! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Jesus, you're fucking useless.
God!
Oh my god.
I hit the button!
Zach said Ethan is bae, Ethan is God.
I know.
Ethan is an angel.
No,
Are you
I'm
sure
just
you
God,
don't know
not
who
an
this
angel.
person is?
I'm
Ethan is awesome.
pretty sure.
I think that might be like your prayer. Ethan is bae, Ethan is God, Ethan's an angel, Ethan
Every
is
day
awesome.
at 109.
And you just like chant that 3 times.
Go to the
you,
Jane
Ninko.
and Steve show website, and I'll be selling prayer mats.
Prayer mats, i.e. something so it doesn't wear their knees out when they're on them in front of you.
No, but it needs to be like an image of you, so that when they bend down, you can like kiss it.
We can arrange that.
Yeah.
On your knees.
We already have a buyer.
And accept the bread of Ethan.
No, there's a good business model.
There you go. There you go. We'll go out on that one.
Do it.
All right.
Oh my God. Okay.
Thank you to Mike, obviously.
Yes.
And then
Yeah. Normal listener. He's here like
That's awesome.
every day.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So,
That's
good. Well,
Mike.
when I have police
And then there's
things, I
other
can
Mike.
ask
When
him.
I say there's Mike said this, and you know
Okay.
it's like some dirty link. You know it's Mike that one.
Okay.
And then if it's Mike, it's Mike on Periscope.
Have we ever had them in the room at the same time?
I don't know.
There you go. Could be the same Mike.
It could be.
All right.
Zach wants you to have your own show with a private one for just him.
Oh my god. Basically,
You
you
gotta
could
give
just
me coins.
you,
He wants to do private Periscope with you.
wow.
Yeah, as long as you give him coins,
You just have to.
he might
You
be
just
up
have to
for
press teleport on Periscope, and you might eventually find
it.
me.
You never know.
It's so
Genko
funny.
says it's like a spank off here between the bromance with Steve and Mike and Nathan and Zach, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
We will. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Yes.
I'm having a slightly better day now.
You got a
Bye.
boyfriend?
That's right. Bye, Felicia.
Bye.
I'm gonna go drinking with him. That's fucking awesome.
You're
We'll
on a
be
date.
unstoppable. Can you imagine that? I'll be like, you can't fucking hang on. You can't fucking arrest me. He's a New York cop.
He's not a cop anymore.
He used to be a New York cop. You can't fucking arrest me. Get in the bus, Steve. All right, let's go.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, he's-